Hello, welcome back to Heretic Owl Tarot. My name is Liz, and I will be guiding you on this journey today. First journey is picking out what deck we're going to use. I do this before every reading. This is actually the deck that I've been thinking about, but that doesn't mean that it wants to be bothered. So we do get consent before every reading because I want to be sure that the deck that we use wants to actually provide a message, right? So I'm just going to shuffle the deck until one card comes out. We're only going to take one. So, and it's either a yes or no card. And if it's a no card, we just move on to the next deck. So that's why I have all these decks out here. So while we're doing that, just a quick little setting expectations. What was that? Seven of Cups reversed. We're going to take that as a no. I'm not psychic. I'm certainly not claiming to be, but I do know these cards, and my intention is to give you the message as it's coming through to me in as many ways as it is coming through to me. And also, I like to, Page of Swords, the Star, okay, I think we will. We will use, I think this is the Guardians deck. I haven't even actually used this deck for YouTube readings before, so that's fun. Okay. So, what was I saying? I like to explain the cards to you because no doubt you are receiving your own message, your own confirmation, because obviously you're the one that's living your life. So if there is not a message that I'm saying out loud, but there is something that is coming through to you that is very much a message, but also at the same time, don't try to fit a square peg into a round hole to fit a narrative. Obviously use your discernment. Not everything in the reading may resonate for you. It is a general reading, blah, blah, blah. What else though? I feel like I'm missing something. I would absolutely love it if you subscribe to the channel. If you haven't done so already, I'm just glad that we are both here. But of course, it does help me grow, and I love that. I do feel like I'm missing something, but whatever. If I think of it, if it comes to me, then I'll just message you in in the reading. So, yeah, let's get to it. Great. So, this is a reading for Capricorn. Wherever Capricorn shows up in your chart. I hope you're all doing well. Let's see what cards come out for you. That one went flying. We have the Judgment card kind of in the reverse. Now, I don't shuffle reversals into my decks, but if they come out in the reverse, we keep them that way. Nine of Cups. Kind of sideways there. Two of Cups, Suspend, which is the Hanged Man, and Ace of Wands. And then we have the Two of Wands at the bottom of the deck. So that's kind of interesting. We have that immediate progression, Judgment in reverse, and the Nine of Cups kind of sideways. Judgment is about transformation. It's also the card that's right before the World card. The World card is a completion, the culmination of the recent past activities, lessons, journey, right? Because the world is the end of the fool's journey. But the Judgment card is that space where we recognize that and even accept that something is coming to an end and that you want it to. And it's also, again, right, it's like it's taking stock of the what you have gained and what you have lost through whatever, process you're in. And it's one of those things of like being able to control the things that you can, but also that there are a lot of things that are outside of your control. It's interesting, I'm even being like brought down that specific path. And with it being in the reverse, there might be some resistance to the evidence. Like resistance to change. When they first came out, I don't even think I've said this yet, but when they first came out, I heard in my head, refusing to learn a lesson, or even refusing to let go of something, because again, right, the Judgment card is that period of time, even if it's like one thought, it's not necessarily something that we spend a ton of time in, or that we are even like consciously aware of. I mean, you certainly can be, but it may not be something that you sit down and say, hey, I'm coming to the end of whatever cycle I'm in, and I kind of need to make a decision here on like what stays, what goes. Like, what am I taking with me? How has this changed me going forward? Am I ready to end it? Have I actually learned the lesson? Have I been open to that? I know, let's see what the book says. I also don't know if I've said this already, but I am going to read the book for most of these cards because I have really just loved the interpretation this creator has for each one of these cards. So for Judgment, it says, this guardian works as a somber reminder to reflect upon those who have crossed the bridge before us. Their energy, memories, and moments live on within each soul that walks this world. Those who have altered the world and set the stage for all concussive events to happen, remember them. Reversed meaning of this card indicates that you may need to take a moment to grieve. Embrace the memories, give yourself a quiet time to remember, to cry, to just step away from the world to remember. And know it is all right to pay homage, whatever, to those who have crossed. It's interesting. I think the one other time that this card has come out is for Libra. And funny enough, the Suspend card actually came out with the Judgment card, because upright, the last Well, upright, it says, as this card lies before you, pause for a moment and recall a person who has had a profound influence upon your life. Now ask yourself, why did they come to mind? How can their influence assist you now? Draw a second card, lay above this one for their message. So truly, I feel like upright and reverse in this deck, it's talking about grieving. Even, we can see on the upright of this card, right? This is a graveyard, and there are these souls that are floating above the graves. And too, just how we can sometimes get stuck in our grief. We miss these people. It's hard to let go. And maybe too, there's a fear that if you don't hold on as tight as you are holding on, that you're going to forget, or that you are not honoring their memory in some capacity. But no, you bring them with you. They'll be there with you. I fucking 100% believe that. And I 100% believe that those who have crossed, those who have passed, would not want you to stop. To stop living, to stop loving, to stop being happy, I think there's a lot of honor for those who have passed by living our lives fully. Even, having those thoughts of, wow, this person would really love that. I really wish that I could tell them about this experience. Or, nothing's stopping you. Nothing is stopping you from saying it out loud, saying it in your head. No doubt. You might even get a response in your head, in their voice, and I do believe that is a message from those who have passed. My aunt passed away a couple months ago, and the next morning, I got home, I went to the gym, and I did my little walkie poo. And when I got home, I was walking into my place, and just out of the blue, I heard in my head, in her voice, "Oh wow, so this is what your place looks like." And it just caught me totally off guard. And also, like, her son passed away, 18 years ago, and me and him were like pretty close. And I felt him there with her too. It was the most kind of random, like just unexpected, I should say. Not even necessarily random, just unexpected, that I literally, I heard in my head, "Oh wow, this is what your place looks like." And I could just feel her. And of course I cried. Of course I cried. But, just being open to that. And also, there's no shame in reaching out for support to help you through your grief. And even, with the 9 of Cups coming after it sideways, it's like truly, right? Because the 9 of Cups is wish fulfillment. It is having your desires met. It's having a life that you love, cultivating a life that you love. And it's kind of, being, I don't want to say stuck, but, maybe a little bit stuck in, I just don't want to sound insensitive. So, because I know that it is difficult. My cousin that passed away 18 years ago, I still go get a corn dog. He was a big fan of Wiener Schnitzel. Like if you're on the West Coast in the United States, you might have heard of Wiener Schnitzel. He was a big fan of Wiener Schnitzel. For a long time, I took a shot of Jaeger on the anniversary of his passing. I don't do that anymore. I don't do that, but I will go get a corn dog. Like, again, nobody is telling you to let them go and forget about it, but I feel like they are telling you that they want to see you happy. They want to see you fulfilled and love your life. And like I said, they are going to be there with you every step of the effing way. I totally believe that. We have the Two of Cups. I didn't even read the Nine of Cups. Let's see. Since I said I was going to read all of them. The Nine of Cups says, this guardian watches from the skies. See? Even that, right? Like, the guardian watches from the skies as a traveler approaches the intersection along the road of life. At various points in life, there are choices to be made, decisions that must be made on one's own with only a gentle supportive stance from others. Although you may feel that you need guidance more than ever at this moment, the choice of where you go from this point is yours to make. Understand that those who love you are most certainly watching over you. Bro. How cool is that? This is why I love tarot. But they acknowledge that you are at a time in your life when you need to make your own decisions. No one else is responsible for the events that happen. They are of your own making. Make them match your highest possible happiness. Truly. Truly. In any decision to it's kind of like you make your bed, right? But there's not really anything that they can do from the other side, right? Except for be there with you along the road, along the path. So it's almost kind of like, it's time to make a decision. And if you need to be sad, because of course it is sad to lose someone, be sad. Give yourself permission to be sad. But also give yourself permission to move through the energy too. I feel like this specific Two of Cups, it says this guardian reminds us to take a moment to take care of ourselves, our mental and physical health. The Suspend card talks about like now is not necessarily the right time to make any big movements, any big changes. It really is like making sure that you are really taking care of yourself. Again, right? Like, what do you need? The rest of it says, as this card appears, it indicates that there may be things that need to be addressed. Be open about your concerns. As simple as they may sound, they can build into bigger issues by leaving them unresolved. So, I mean, maybe that is just certain areas of your life that have fallen by the wayside. I mean, maybe it is just having a conversation with those around you about how you have been feeling, about your mental and physical health. Maybe even allowing yourself to focus on those things is what can help you move through the energy of grief. The Suspend card says the guardian watches as his yellowed leaves are now ready to fall one by one. He is lost in his hypnotic trance and the ripples dance upon the water's surface as each leaf hits the surface. His concept of time has been suspended. This card represents that for now, this moment with inactivity is the best thing. It is a call to pause, hold off on an action and decision as the timing is not right. During these moments, embrace each memory, hold them dear, use this time to process and lay the past to rest. How fucking perfect is that? Water does represent our emotions. These leaves could be, memories. Gosh, there's a Prince verse. Oh, it's going to bother me. Oh, it's something about like him brushing his hair and memories falling out. Ugh. Oh, I don't even, let me see. Do I have a piece of paper somewhere? Because I'm like, I am going to make a note and I'll put it on the screen if I find it. I really don't have a piece of paper around here. Come on. Trash. Here we go. It's all these like shipping, like mailer things. Okay. Prince song. Verse. Brushing hair. Okay, I'm going to stop trying to think of it because it is not coming to my mind. I keep thinking of Justify My Love, which is Madonna. So I'm like, okay, that's not the song, but I feel like it has, okay, whatever. Okay, I'll put it on the screen when I find it. So the Ace of Wands says, this guardian supports and applauds when the creative vice comes together to work in the very best manner and provide a solid base for the future. Sometimes you are the foundation, sometimes you are the one receiving the assistance. All things take work and collaboration from a unified team. When this card appears, it means that your team is ready and willing to help you build your future with a solid foundation. Remember to communicate your ideas or changes that you would like to see happen. And since we're here, the Two of Wands says, watching over his world, this guardian dreams to explore the distant mountains. Though he dreams of freedom from his day-to-day existence, he realizes that he has responsibilities for the moment. Though you have dreams and desires, you will need to tend to your current responsibilities. Should the desire become overwhelming, consider all the pros and cons before acting on this desire and the consequences your actions will have on others. I kind of love that these two cards are the ones that are at the end of the reading, because this is almost like finding your spark again. And maybe you will see, I don't know what kind of birds they are. Maybe they will be specific yellow birds that, when you see a yellow bird, because there's two birds on here. It's interesting. There's no other birds on any other card. But maybe, it'll make you think of them when you see a specific type of bird and maybe one that is mostly yellow. But aces are brand new. Wands are fire. It's action, passion, desire. Again, it's like getting your spark back. It is also on the other side of the grief process. And then the Two of Wands, even being curious or interested in the future, even thinking about the future, if you have been in a place of thinking about the past, right? Memories, good, bad, otherwise, how, just thinking more so about the past. This card being more future focused and even having a desire to even consider that. That's huge. But the energy is also available for that. And I know whoever it is, they would want you to be happy and to live your life to the fullest. So you guys can talk about it when you see each other again. Like, oh my God, I can't believe you did that. Whatever, right? Like, oh, I could not wait to, talk about that with you. Whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I love it. Okay, I'm leaving it there. Thank you so much for allowing me to read your cards. I will talk to you soon. Bye.